Hello again everybody, welcome back to Dominions 4, The Rise and Fall of Ermor. This is a dark time in the history of Ermor, my friends. I am basically conceding defeat right here. Why, you may ask? This here is why. I am convinced that this is the 3-point throne, and 3 points is all Ulm needs to claim ultimate victory. I cannot remove this army with just this, possibly not even with the reinforcements coming down, but it's 3 turns before they get there, plus another 2 turns to get up there. By that time, even if they have not yet claimed that throne, it'll just turn into another Pontifex's realm, and I'll attack, I'll get kicked off, I'll attack, I'll get kicked off. So there's no way for me to prevent them getting in there. I can't even cut them off, because I've got nothing. I've got a very small force of Ictiids that'll just get absolutely hammered as soon as they move up there. Is there any other way I can prevent Ulm from claiming victory? No. We've all seen what happens here. This is the only other throne really that I can reach. We've seen it happen many times. I'll move in, I may even conquer the province, then their massive stacks of reserves will kick me out, or at least just knock me down my numbers to the point where I can no longer damage the fortress. Additionally, over here, Ulm have basically breached my lines. This throne here, even if I was to take this one, well, they'll probably just capture this one very soon anyway. My army here has been scattered, decimated. I've got no further reinforcements, and basically I just can't win. Ulm basically has this game, so I'm conceding defeat. Yes folks, that's right, I admit it, I have been outplayed by the AI. I just want to record this quickly to explain that and to say, what have I learned from this? Well, the first thing I learned, obviously, I've mentioned it before, is planning of the campaign. Now, it wouldn't normally happen to you, but this map has fixed starting locations, and as I've mentioned, Ulm basically had all of the north, and Satis basically had all of the south. Arco here had no hope, Beretos here had pretty much no hope. Marverni, they had a reasonable starting place. The only reason I conquered this territory is because they were Dominion killed, and it was not my Dominion that killed them. I'm pretty damn sure it was Ulm's. Look, this is all cold scales, even into Satis's territory it's cold scales. That's how strong Ulm's Dominion is, and I still would be at risk of being Dominion killed myself. I was at one point down to a single white candle here. I noticed it far too late. Started building temples and preaching, but basically it was too late. So that's the primary thing, is campaign setup. There should have been a more even spread. I probably needed another 2 enemy empires, one starting down here somewhere and one starting up here somewhere. That's the first thing. It's yes, just planning for the campaign itself. Obviously multiplayer is not going to be a problem, or with random starting locations, they're more evenly spread around. But on this map, in a single player, I just was failing right from the start. Next thing I learned was basically adaptability. My plan, essentially, and mainly from a role-playing perspective more than anything else, was to use my Augur Elders, these guys here, with their death magic, and start summoning lots of undead, and essentially basically turning into a realm of undead, which follows through the history of Ermor. Unfortunately, in spite of all this territory I've conquered, my death gem income is still only 4 per month. So there was no way that was going to work at that point. But I didn't have any backup. All I really started summoning after that was fall bears, I tried summoning the Spring Hawks, but they just kept dying. But essentially, I had nothing else to fall back on after my Death Gems economy was just shot. And one other thing I learned about the Bless... No, I'm still happy with this Bless strategy that I took. It's, as I said in the first episode, it's probably not the best Bless, but at the end of the day, my Sacred Equites were the men of the match. Aside from Cloanthus up here, my Sacred Equites were the only ones that did massive amounts of damage to enemy forces. The Bless worked, but the point I'm trying to make about that is I ended up empowering this guy heaps. Now that's really not a useful use for your gems. I had a reasonable income of them, but not fantastic. I ended up doing that just to get the global enchantments. There was the Gift of Health that I did cast. The other one I was saving up for was I can't remember the name of it, but it makes all your forest tiles I believe it's all of them in the world. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think it is. It makes them start spreading your dominion, and that would have been incredibly handy. But for all intents and purposes, I really should have started, if I was going to do that, I should have had a Pretender with a Nature Bless. Even if it was only 4, I would have only had to either empower him once or twice or give him 2 Nature Path boosting items. Instead, I ended up, this guy started off as level 1. He's now natively level 5, plus 1 from the Thistle Mace. So I've empowered him 4 times. That is a crap ton of nature gems to do that. And it's just not the most efficient use. Bag of Winds. I think that was what I was wanting to give to him. Or maybe not. No, the Bag of Winds was not that. Sorry, just got a sidetrack there. Yeah, so essentially, my plan was not the greatest, and I didn't really stick to it, or in the terms that I did stick to it with the undead, I should have adapted to some other plan. I should have had a backup, which I didn't. In any case, still very much a learning process. I'm still enjoying this game thoroughly, and I still love the background of Urmor. I mentioned at the first episode that I plan to do a 3-part series of this with the Urmor throughout the ages. I still intend to do that at some point in the future. I'm going to need a lot more practice though, as this has shown me, this game. In terms of military, I was for the most part holding off Ulm. They started breaking through here. Satis, I was taking over their territories slowly, eventually breaking through, but Ulm's very strong dominion, and their basically capturing of all the thrones up here in the northern half of the map has just basically done it for me. So I did learn a lot. I hope you learned a lot too. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I hope you took some amusement from my failure. I know I did. Just one more thing very quickly. At the start of the camp, or early on, you may remember I was getting very frustrated with here moving forwards and getting pushed back just constantly. I'm not frustrated by the loss that I suffered in the end. I was not getting frustrated by the Dominion kill. That was my own fault for not noticing it earlier. And I'm not really that frustrated by losing because Ulm claimed all the thrones. I think they just did better than me. They did have an advantage to start, and that they capitalised on it fully. The AI, I was set to difficult AI, which is... Look, other people, I'm sure, would still have managed to pull out a victory out of this, and good for them. I have no shame in admitting that I'm not very good at computer games. I never have been, I probably never will be. I play them for the fun. I enjoy them, even though I'm bad at them. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. As long as you're having fun, it really doesn't matter. You know, you're not playing for sheep stations, probably. Hopefully you're not. So, yeah, that's it. Look, I'm learning. I'm slowly getting better. I'm sure I'll do better in my next campaign with a bit more planning. So that will be it for this series here. I have lost, I admit it. But I had fun, I hope you had fun. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.